Hi everyone, Eileen here. Okay, I'm back again. I'm really enjoying this Lavinia Stamps Halloween extravaganza, and I hope that you are as well. I'm here to show you another, or share with you another Lavinia Stamps video tutorial. And this one, although it's not strictly the Halloween theme, it features the Green Man. There are two sizes. This one is the smaller of the two, and I think that he is so handsome. Also, a couple of the woodland hares. Now, not strictly Halloween, but it is magical and mystical, so I think that I'll get away with it, don't you? Right, this is how I made this card. I have an A4 sheet of a Lavinia Stamps Multifarious cardstock in white. I folded it, creased it and cut it to 14 centimetres by 20 centimetres, and that gives me my one layer base card. Popping some copy paper inside to protect the middle from any stray ink. The first thing is to draw a frame all the way around the outside. Now I use this from Sweet Poppy Stencils. It's a rectangle, and I'm just using it very quickly along with a pencil to draw out my base line. Where have I put my pencil? I've laid that down somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, so just a very quick pencil line all the way around. That's it, job done. So consequently, you can use a ruler just to draw in your frame, or you could even put masking tape down, and then if it was firm enough, you could probably draw around that with the pencil. We'll be coming back to the edge of the frame later, but I've got the guide to use so I know where I'm going to put down my stencil and my stamps. The first thing that I'm using is a stencil from Lavinia Stamps called Abstract, and I'm putting that down in the middle, not bothering to tape it. It's only going to be seconds, and I'm using Elements ink in Confetti. This colour is so pretty, along with another of my favourites, Russet Orange. Now these ink pads are very, very juicy, so be careful you don't get ink covered fingers, because most of my card is going to be white, and you know what I'm like. So I have a cloth beside me that I'm keeping really handy to wipe my fingers on when I need to. Starting off with confetti and a piece of copy paper to the side. Let me just check that I'm in shot with that. Let me move this over a little. Oh yeah, that's good. So I'm using a very large makeup brush, but taking off a lot of the ink first. So it's just a small amount of ink on the brush, and then into the middle and staying in the middle of the framed area, just gently, just kissing the top of the stencil. So no pressure whatsoever. All right, I'm not going to move my stencil, and then moving on to the orange. Again, mind your fingers, and I've got pink ink all over those. That's it, that's off. And then this one is very rich and very, very juicy again, so taking a lot of the colour off and then popping it down, some over the pink and some in an area that hasn't got any ink at all, so that the orange gets its own showcase as well. Right, let's have a look at that. Oh yes, that's nice. I managed to stay in the frame, more or less. There's a little bit of stray there, but it doesn't notice very much. So that's good. So the design is in the right place, just as a background, but it isn't overpowering for my Green Man image. And here he is. Isn't he a lovely stamp? VersaFine Onyx Black I'm using. You can use VersaFine Clear Nocta, no problem. And you can use a stamp press if you wish. So tapping gently all the way around the outside, but in the middle I'm pressing quite heavily to get some really solid ink on those eyes and the rest of the features in the middle of the stamp. And then back on the outside. Right, just taking a cloth because I've got stray ink on my block and in a couple of areas on the stamp, and I just want to take that off. That should be good. Line it up. And then popping him in the middle, but up a bit from the bottom. Like so, that should do. Pressing down firmly, really firmly in the middle, less so on the outside edges. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Gorgeous image, absolutely gorgeous. Look at the detail there. Okay, onto the hare. Now the hares, the woodland hares, one is sort of just looking at you and the other one is gazing up, or will be, at the Green Man. And so using the same ink, VersaFine Onyx Black, we'll start off with the gazing hare. And I think there is another stamp from Lavinia Stamps called the Gazing Hare, and it's this hare but larger. And I do like the way that a lot of the animals in particular, especially the hares, have got different sizes, so you can get the perspective right in loads and loads of magical scenes that you create. Right, okay. So here we go, and it's at the bottom of the card, just gazing up in adoration at that Green Man. Let the ink soak in, and then down, press firmly, and up. Beautiful. Tiny little amount on the nose, not quite there. It is now. Okay, and then the other one, the hare that's looking forward, probably gazing at the other hare, to be honest. Gentle tapping again. More in the middle because it's a silhouette stamp. Blocks clean-ish. Bit on the edge there, let's take that off. And then looking at the eye, and I'm going to come down just a smidgen from his eye and over towards the left, and hopefully I found a space for him. Again, pressing firmly and up. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Next, I'm going to need my stamp press because I want to put some words on, but I want to make sure that they are absolutely straight. So I'm using my Misty for that. Popping that underneath. Oh, I've got some stray ink on my card there. Let's get rid of that. Popping that card in and the magnets on. But I'm going to get rid of that. It's one of the element inks, the orange. It's got a tiny amount. I don't know how I did that, but it's nothing new, is it? I'm always getting my work covered in stray ink. Fortunately, this cardstock doesn't mind me using an eraser on it, Not all cardstocks will take this, but it's lovely cardstock, this multifarious. So it's still slightly there, but I think you'd be hard pushed to see it, so I'm going to go with that. And now I'm putting my words on. Actually, they are here. Now, believe it or not, it doesn't say Happy Halloween or anything. It says Lavinia Stamps. I just happen to love this. And because I do a lot of work for Lavinia Stamps, I do like to promote them. And obviously you can use anything you like, but it does make people ask. They go, oh, that says Lavinia Stamps. Yes. Have you got a lot? Oh, yeah, loads. You know, it's nice to show off occasionally, isn't it? So here we are. It's going in a vertical position because it fits in nicely. I don't want it to cross any of the images. I think that's round about right. It looks straight to me, hopefully. Down, press, up, move this because that isn't going to work with that too close to it. Right. And then the ink, gentle tapping. Delicate stamp this. I need a wet cloth, or maybe not. So if I can just get that off there like that, that's it. Okay, they do say that you don't have to do that when you're using a stamp press, but between you and me, I don't trust them, so I'm always going to remove the ink. Oh, now look, now I'm putting it over my fingers again. No harm done. Right, down we go. Press, up, sorted. That's lovely. White fingers. I love making cards with loads of white space, but it does come at a price. Especially if you've almost completed your card and then you just get it covered in ink and stuff. Now, the final thing to do, and this is why I've got the border in the first place, and lots of you would have seen this already, I've done it before, is just to get a black pigment ink pen, some copy paper to protect my cards from my more inky fingers, and just going down, look, not being careful, sort of a wiggly line. I'm not meaning to, I'm just drawing down, but it doesn't matter if it is a wiggly line, it adds to the mix. A bit more there, just to frame it, adds a bit more interest. So that's one. Now I'm going to go for it and go over the top, and I'm just doing another one to add more interest. And then the last bit there. And now I'm done. So, I really enjoyed doing that. Quite a quick card. I hope that you give this a go. So just to recap on the stamps that I used, the stencil was called Abstract and the stamps were the Green Man Small, the Woodland Hares, and then the stamp called Lavinia. Have fun. Let me move this away. Don't need all that. Always showcase your work in the best possible way, especially when you've taken a lot of time doing it. Why not? Lots of the artwork that I see on Lavinia, Loving All Things Lavinia, and Lavinia for You are absolutely wonderful, really lovely. So I'm hoping to see some like this as well on there. Thanks very much for looking. Enjoy the rest of the Lavinia Stamps Halloween extravaganza, and I'll be back next weekend. Bye for now.